Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I'm the leading lady, and I need to stop acting like the best friend. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. I have gumption.
Max agrees.
Oh, Max.
That's
hello.
hilarious. Like, I'm wearing headphones, y'all. He didn't hear any of that, but it was like, good timing, Max. We are in the holiday spirit. We are dorking out about 2006's The Holiday. It is written and directed by Nancy Meyers, and it stars Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, Jack Black, and Eli Wallach. Let's start with this because I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you see this in the theater?
No, I did not. And I don't know why, because I am a Nancy Meyers person.
Same.
I don't know why I missed this one. This was my very first time seeing the movie, and I just came from seeing it.
This is amazing.
Just turned it off, and I was completely enchanted.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Yeah, same. Spoilers, we actually like this movie. I saw it in the theater and liked it fine. I was like, it's fine. I remember liking the Kate Winslet part way more than the Cameron Diaz part, and never saw the movie again. Like, and then people would say, like, I really love The Holiday. It's one of my favorites. And I'm just like, yeah, it's very pleasant or whatever. And I rewatched it, and now I'm like, I really like this movie. Like,
She lulls you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy Meyers knows how to make a really like cozy. This movie feels very cozy to me. Movie with like movie stars, and it's very sweet, and I really like it. It's way better than Love Actually, which is the movie that like everybody loves, but Margo and I hate. I would much rather watch this than watch Love Actually.
I think I'm going to watch this more often. I mean, it's a sweet spot for me because I know what it's like to be in California at Christmas.
Yes.
And it has its own little vibe, not Southern California, Northern California, but I'm always dreaming about being in London for Christmas or being in England and those cozy cottages.
Yes.
That kind of cottage porn is like, there's a part of me that's so like, I bet it's so simple and easy. Everything's there.
Yeah.
I do worry about the dog. There's a dog in this movie that I thought at the end it was going to be just a skeleton in a dog bed.
I forget the dog's name, but like he shows up every once in a while, but he's also forgotten about.
It might as well just have been a cat or something. I mean, if they're really going to just because like there's a lot more you need to do with a dog. But...
Yeah, I wondered about the dog at one point, and I'm glad they explained what happens with Jude Law's kids. Because I've already seen the movie, so I remembered that he has kids. If you haven't seen the movie, we're going to be spoiling The Holiday, and his character has kids. And he's off like stooping Cameron Diaz for like days at a time, and I'm like, where's his kids? Like, is this like a Home Alone situation? But they explain that they're with their grandma, like, you know, just to cover their bases. If you haven't seen The Holiday, go see The Holiday. You can stream it wherever and rent it. I should have bought it. I rented it, and I was like, I should have bought this. Mm-hmm. I should have trusted my gut on that. Kate Winslet lives in a cozy cottage in England. Cameron Diaz lives in LA. They're both having romantic problems, and they exchange homes for the holidays. So Cameron Diaz goes to Surrey, and Kate Winslet goes to LA, and they romantic entanglements ensue. Well, actually, that's not entirely true for the Kate Winslet character. Like...
Yeah, she has a flirtation. Well, Rufus Sewell, I think that's how you say it. I love him. He's a great actor. I mean, he's
such a dick in this movie.
He's a shithead. Yeah. He's but she's somebody that she plays a character that works at a newspaper, and she's had a thing with him, and he never takes her seriously, and he never really wants to commit to her, and she's madly in love with him. And then of course it's announced that he's engaged to somebody else at the newspaper, and she has to write the story.
It's so awful.
It's terrible. And she keeps her chin up. And also, like, she and Cameron Diaz are so breathtakingly beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Like, so beautiful.
Every shot, they just look like people always look great in these movies. Yes. Like, she just knows how to shoot people and light people. And so she goes home into her cozy cottage and she just cries. It's
so sad.
It is sad. Believe me, I feel it.
Yeah, me too. Like, we've all been in love with someone who doesn't love us back. And I was feeling that very much with every sense of my being watching this time. And Kate Winslet's adorable. Everybody drink. And you don't want bad things to happen to her. So the whole time I'm like, that man is trash. He's
trash, I tell you. So she is crying at her home, and then Cameron Diaz is in bed with Edward Burns, someone who I haven't seen in a while.
He's adorable.
I've had such a crush on him.
Yes,
like,
I get it.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, the voice too. The voice and
the whole package,
thing.
Man.
Yeah,
I'm like, Fammy. Like, I saw all of his terrible movies.
Yeah.
He directed a few. She's the One, I think, is the one with Cameron and Jennifer Aniston and Celine.
Right?
He was dating, the star was Celine. God damn it, what was her last name? She was his girlfriend, like, for the Brothers McMullen and here. And then they break up, and then he marries Christy Turlington, one of the most beautiful women that's ever existed.
Yes.
But she's the one is something he fell in with Cameron Diaz. So maybe they were just leftover friends from that time.
I thought maybe they dated at some point, but maybe not. I don't know.
These Hollywood people, who knows?
Yeah.
The boundaries are weird. But she's breaking up with him, and then there's a whole thing
he's cheating
where, like,
on her.
He's cheating on her, and she's like, have you slept with her? Have you slept with her? Have you slept with her? He's like, no. He's like, okay, yeah. But, we've had problems for a long time, but so she's a person that edits movie trailers, which is a great job.
Yes.
I don't know if it's as glamorous as they try to make it be.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's got a fabulous life. But yeah, John from Office.
Oh, John Krasinski and Catherine Hahn.
I mean, this movie is just stacked with really great people. So they're her assistants, and Cameron Diaz is like, all right, I need to take a break. I haven't taken a vacation in years. I'm going to take a vacation. And so she house swaps with Kate Winslet. So she goes to England, and Kate Winslet goes to LA. And Kate Winslet is so fucking excited, and she should be, because this house is
it's gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
It's got everything. It's like the automatic blinds that make the room dark, and like the huge swimming pool, and like she's got a huge media room with like a cozy couch, again cozy, with like so many fucking movies. I was like,
it's like the Criterion Closet.
Yes.
You ever see those videos?
Yeah. Yes. It looks like a dream home. It really does.
And she's staying there, and that's when she meets Jack Black. And I thought Jack Black was married, but he's not.
No.
He's dating someone who doesn't appreciate him. So
yes.
she's like, he's a composer, which is great. Like, this is just after School of Rock. So
he's very charming in this.
He's and it's so unexpected.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I love her story too, because she becomes friends with Eli Wallach, who's this elderly screenwriter who's just like is a widower, and he's, lonesome and sad, and he's like outlived a lot of his friends, and she connects with him. I love their relationship. Yeah, I think it's so great.
Yeah, that's the real love story for her. Like, the Jack Black has, likes her, and they, get together at the end. Spoilers. That's not really a spoiler. You're pretty sure that's going to happen. But it's really her and Arthur, the Eli Wallach character. And she's so sweet to him, and he's so sweet to her. And I love how he builds her up. Like, you're a leading lady,
You act like the best friend, and you're a leading lady. And she helps. So he's going to get an award, and he's not responding because he's so closed off from life.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has him come over in the pool and starts getting him to walk and move. And she gets him to accept this award with the WGA. In the meantime, Cameron Diaz, I love it. She goes to England and the guy's like, I'm not driving you to the door. You could like drag your suitcase.
What the fuck? Because by the way, at the end, he seems to have no problem driving up to her door.
I drive both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Sure.
But he's just over her. Like she's like a very neurotic. I love her first class though. God, if I could fly first class like that, I'd go anywhere.
Yeah. She has money. So she, you know, these are two very different lives. Like Kate Winslet works for a newspaper. She's not poor, but like she's making newspaper money. And Cameron Diaz is rolling in it and, you know, flying first class. And she like gets a driver and he doesn't drive her the whole way. But like her whole thing about the trip is like, I just want to be alone. I don't want to be around any men. You know, she's like, I want to like drink wine and eat carbs and read all these books that I buy and never read. And she's got like a stack of books. And
I've been there, girl.
Yeah. And she's in the house for 6 hours before she's like,
losing it.
Yeah. She's like, I think I'm going to buy a ticket and go home. Like, she's like, what was I thinking?
And is she going to kick Kate Winslet out? Or
yeah, I was like, that's not very clear because it's never going to happen, right? So
no. So Jude Law shows up and he's drunk.
Yeah.
And he's Kate Winslet's brother.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So he's somebody, they're warm for each other's form. Let's just say immediately. Yeah. They have chemistry.
Yeah. They instantly want to fuck, basically.
Yes. They're down to fuck. We curse on this show. Yeah. So she gets to know him and he's just at his Jude Law-iest. He's just super charismatic and charming.
Jude Law was in like 5 movies that year. Like,
yeah.
I should look it up, but there was a time where I was wondering if you could legally make a movie without Jude Law. Like he was in so many movies.
They redid Alfie and he was in the Michael Caine part. Like he did a lot. Talented Mr. Ripley was really great.
Yeah.
So he's warm for her form. They're like flirting a lot with each other and she goes to his house one day and she gets her coat, her clothes are so beautiful in this movie.
Yeah. All of them. All of them have like luscious, like beautiful clothes. Yes. The sweater game.
Great.
The sweater game in this movie is a whole vibe. Like
it's next level.
Yeah.
So she goes to his house and she can hear clattering going on. She's like, oh shit, he's married or he's dating someone and I just showed up. And he brings her in and he has 2 adorable daughters.
Adorable. Everybody
and like for me that's always was my dream. Like, yeah, I'll be a stepmom, but like I'm not going through all that shit. And so you have like these gorgeous kids, a ginger and a blonde.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, come to our room. And we have a tent in our room. I've made tents in my room.
They never look that good.
Good God. That you could Airbnb that tent.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's
astonishing. Yeah. It's so gorgeous. So she vibes with all of them and the girls clearly like her. He's been widowed for a couple of years and they're also realizing like, but I live in LA and you live here.
Yes.
And what happens? And so there's all this like tension and there's that conflict. And then Kate Winslet is warming up to Jack Black, but they both have this issue. They're in love with someone or they think they're in love with somebody that's unattainable. And just dismissive, and they just any drop of attention from them, they just immediately
drop everything they're doing and
everyone's had a friend that's done that.
Yes,
like they were obsessed with another person.
I've been that friend. I'm the worst. I wouldn't do it now. By the way, I'm reformed. But
there was a time in my 20s for sure. Yeah. Like you're just like, well, that's what people do, right? They just go crazy when they fall in love and they just do stupid shit and they don't care about their friends and they just, and then you build those relationships again. You go, oh, that wasn't really worth it. But so he realizes, first of all, she's Kate motherfucking Winslet.
Yeah, no shit.
Are you going to find anybody more beautiful or charming? No. But I love their scene at the video store.
He's like humming every
soundtrack.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. Like, she like, you know, she likes him. I don't know if she knows that she like likes him, you know, but like they have a friendship. It's very easy for them. They click with each other very easily. And I love that he's humming all these soundtracks and she is pretty good at guessing like who did them. Like, she's been listening to him. She actually listens to him when he talks and like is interested in what he's interested in, which is what you do when you meet someone that you're in love with. You're like, you're interested in this. I want to learn a little bit about it too, to see what you like about it so much. And she's paying attention to what he's into and he's paying attention to what she's into. And it's very sweet. And they make it very clear that like his actress girlfriend does not pay attention to what he does. Like, she talks all over his songs and whatever. So it's very sweet and funny.
Yeah, they do a whole thing where he's talking about The Graduate, and then there's Dustin Hoffman over. I mean, it's a great joke.
Can't go anywhere.
Can't go anywhere. But yeah, so these different love stories are happening, and like I said, Kate Winslet brings Arthur to his WGA event. I love that scene.
It's so sweet.
It really is satisfying. And, you know, look, this stuff is a confection. There's nothing that deep going on. No. But at the same time, it's very human. And it's like, it's very human at the same time. It's very pretty. It's very beautifully presented. And I'm just like, yeah, I want to go to that LA. I want to go to that London. I want to go to that Surrey. I want to be in that house.
Yeah.
I want to have brandy with them. I want to have hot chocolate. I want to hang out and see the sheep. I want to do all of it. I want to run through the snow. It's all of it is just, I want to go to that event. I mean, it's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of long. It's over 2 hours. It doesn't probably need to be, but
yeah. And there's all the stuff about like Cameron Diaz's character can't cry. And it's like eye roll. Like, that's total movie stuff that, you know, and it's like, she's 30 something years old and she's still like so fucked up from her parents' divorce that she can't cry however many years later. It's like, you're super rich. You could get a therapist for that. Just saying. But
she said or was it Kate Winslet has been to a therapist? But
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a thing, like, because Kate Winslet cries all the time and she can't cry at all. Yes, that's the whole thing.
Yes.
And, you know, spoiler, they fall in love with the people they're supposed to fall in love with.
Yeah.
And they are hanging out together. And I don't know if it's a year later or that. I can't tell.
I think it's like that New Year's Eve. Like,
okay, so it's only a week later because the girls don't change. I'm like, something's wrong with those kids.
Yeah.
Because they're like the same size.
He's not feeding them properly. They're not growing. They're not growing.
That and the skeleton of a dog, like by the fire. Like, that's all I was like picturing. But yeah, in the end, they're all hanging out together for New Year's Eve. And I'm like, what's better than that?
Yeah, it's super sweet. I'm like, does it solve any of the problems? Like, what are Cameron Diaz and Jude Law gonna do? Like, is he gonna move? Is she gonna move? Like, is Kate Winslet gonna move? Is Jack Black gonna move? Like, it doesn't matter.
No, that's the whole point.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Like, they're all going to spend New Year's Eve together and they're in love and it's fine. I think movies like this are easily dismissed by people. And by people, I mean male movie critics. Sorry, male movie critics, but y'all dismiss movies like this.
Not all men
Not
critics,
all
Sonia.
men. Not all male critics. Dismiss movies like this, right? They're like, chick flick, burnt. You know, it's a movie written by a woman and directed by a woman. It stars 2 women. And anything that women like is just chick flicks.
It's diminished and it's made to seem like it's trite.
Yes.
And whatever. You know, and there's lots of stupid men movies that are out.
Yes.
And nobody ever has a bad thing to say about it, you know.
Yeah, nobody's
occasionally Adam Sandler gets some shit. Occasionally.
Yeah. Well, nobody's like, oh, Martin Scorsese, he only makes
But that was a 3.5 hour movie.
He made a 3.5 movie and it's a fucking dick pic. Like, you know, they wouldn't call it a dick pic for obvious reasons, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like a dude movie, like because they're all about men and they're men relationships and those win Oscars. But I'm not saying The Holiday should have won Oscars, by the way. I'm just saying, like, these kinds of movies are easily dismissed, and I think that there is room for these kinds of movies.
I wish there were more of them. I think, Lifetime and all those holiday movies that we get every year, they try to get like a tenth of this magic and barely achieve it. There's something more going on here. That's so much. It's just better written. It looks better. The acting is superb. I mean, you just believe everybody in their part. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck them if they can't take a joke. That's my attitude.
That's a good point, though, because there is now all these like Lifetime, Netflix, Hallmark.
And I watch them.
Yeah, and I watch a lot of them too, and like they are fine. Like they are enjoyable, predictable, nice movies that are really great to watch when you're like snuggled under your blanket with your, Christmas candles burning and your wine. They're delightful. Like I like them. Do they ever hit? Rarely are they as good as something like The Holiday or I'm trying to think of another. Like every once in a while you'll get one that's really like I think 12 Dates of Christmas actually could have played in a movie theater and would have done well.
There's some really good ones, but I mean it does take that extra amount of writing, and it's just the art direction is off the charts. It's so I believe every moment. I believe she's really rich. Whereas when you have rich people in those other holiday movies that they film in Canada, nothing wrong with Canada, but you're kind of like, oh, that looks like a paper wall there, doesn't it? And it all looks the same. There's a level of detail that's here. The WGA awards, like just like the way that looks, like all of it feels like it's really happening.
And just, there's a little, you're saying there's like a little bit more in the set direction and the way it's filmed, but there's also just a little bit more in the characters. Maybe they take the extra pass at that script before they start filming. Just the like little shit, like when Jack Black and Kate Winslet like kiss at the award thing and like he does the little like, yes. Like after, and I was like, it's adorable.
It's so adorable. When he comes over, she becomes friends with Eli Wallach, and she says, "Let's have Hanukkah here." And she has Hanukkah at her house, and he brings over some of his friends, and then Jack Black shows up, and he's drunk a Manischewitz with these guys, and they're just like hanging out and joking and stuff. It's like, I want to hang out with them. I bet that's a great time.
I totally want to hang out with them. That's the other thing I love about this movie, and especially about the Kate Winslet character, is she is open. Like she has been hurt in a really horrible way, and she is still open to people, to letting people into her life. And she lets Arthur into her life, which makes me think that maybe she would move back to LA just to be by Arthur. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe she doesn't, but I think she does. Like, I like that she just says yes to stuff. And I think that that's really great. And that it's very similar to another movie that we almost talked about last holiday, where Queen Latifah's character is someone who just starts saying yes to things and how much that can improve your life. And I don't know, I love movies like that. Where people just, I don't know, they're living their lives, but they're curious. That's what it is. I like it when characters are curious and ask questions and talk to people. And Iris is one of those people because she's a reporter. I guess that's why. I'm just sorry, everyone. I'm figuring it all out myself. She's a reporter. Of course, she's going to ask questions. That's what she does.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah. Do you think any of these characters would still stay together?
I'm wondering about Cameron Diaz and Jude Law, how it looks like, because she's got it's a very technical career. Like, can she fit that stuff in his house?
Yeah.
Does she not make movie trailers anymore? Because she seems to be really good at it and enjoys it.
Right.
But you know what? Sure. They look great together.
I mean, I think Kate Winslet and Jack Black's characters
also very cute.
I think they absolutely still stay together.
Yeah.
Like they're those type of people. Like they're monogamous commitment people that will, once they find their person, they'll just be together.
Yeah.
I don't know that about Jude Law's character, who at one point says, like, I seem to hurt women's feelings by just being myself. And I was like, what does that mean? Does it mean he's a dick? Like, it's a weird thing to say.
He breaks hearts everywhere he goes, Sonia.
Well,
he probably does.
He probably does. He's very handsome.
Yeah. Yeah, please. A widower with like the 2 kids in that house, that good looking, like people would get into fist fights over that. Right?
You're probably right.
He could have this. Just saying. Mr. Law, not to be crude.
Not to be crude, but sure. Sure. If you're interested, just, slide into our DMs. Yeah. Which is, of course, funny that I would say that when I told you off mic. I was like, yeah, he's not my jam.
Yeah, it's so funny they said that. And I saw, so recently there's been rumors there's going to be a sequel, but Nancy Meyers was interviewed by NBC News by a total holiday geek who like really knows her shit about this movie. And she says, I'm sorry, I get asked to do it all the time, but I'd rather just leave the characters where they are. She's like, I don't know if they wind up together. And she said the one thing she would take out of this movie is the reference to a BlackBerry, that's immediately you're like, oh boy, that's 2006.
That is so funny. Yeah, that's true. Because all the other stuff with the phones is fine. Yeah, but the reference to an actual BlackBerry. I never had a BlackBerry. Did you?
Oh, I had 2 of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Were you like super in love with your BlackBerry? Because a lot of BlackBerry people are hardcore.
It was a better keyboard, and that rolling ball thing I really liked. But I remember going home one Christmas and showing my dad and my brother that I could put up to 8 email addresses on this one thing. And they were drooling like, oh no. Because I had it for all my magazines and for like my, so it was like Lucky and Glamour or whatever, and Condé Nast and blah, blah, blah. It was a real pain in the ass, but I loved it.
I never had a BlackBerry, but like there were people that I worked with at the newspaper that had BlackBerries, and they were really upset when they started to fade away. And it wasn't like you couldn't get a new BlackBerry. And
it was called Crackberry.
It's basically the same, like what you would. It's the same. Like I'm totally addicted to my phone now. Like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But
the keyboard was much better on a. I made far less spelling errors.
Valid.
With the BlackBerry, and I liked that rolling thing.
Yeah.
I just felt like I had more control over it, but yeah, if something happens to this phone, I understand why people go nuts when they lose their phone. I'm like, yeah, I have it with me all the time.
Yeah, we were playing Would You Rather recently at work for like a team building fun little thing. And someone asked, like, would you rather always have a full tank of gas or a full phone battery? And I was like, phone battery. Like, it wasn't even hard. This wasn't even hard. I don't even have a car,
but that doesn't even work for me. But still, like, yeah, I get it.
I'm like, I was like, my little friend that I keep in my pocket with me at all times, my purse with me at all times to like entertain me when I'm lonely or answer questions for me when I don't know something. No, it needs a battery all the time. Helps me when I get lost. Welcome to my podcast where I talk about how I'm in love with my phone. This movie held up way better for me than I thought it would, to be honest. I hadn't seen it since the theater, and this movie was a delight, and I wish I'd bought it, and now I'm going to have to buy it next time.
I super loved it. I'm going to watch it again. It's just Nancy Meyers magic all over it. It's wonderful.
It is. I made a list of other Nancy Meyers movies.
Bring it.
Okay. I did some that she was a writer on and some that she was writer-director. So I did not know this one, that she was a writer on Private Benjamin.
That's on our list. We have to cover that one.
Yeah,
somebody just tweeted to us asking for Private Benjamin.
So We will definitely do that one. She also wrote Irreconcilable Differences.
I love that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's really good.
Also on our list.
Yep.
She wrote Protocol.
I liked Protocol. I mean, it's not great.
No.
But it's very cute.
Yeah. Goldie Hawn made, so it was like Private Benjamin, Protocol, like Wildcats, these very like, well, even Overboard is like these kind of fish out of water comedies with Goldie Hawn. And they're all delightful because it's
goddamn delight.
Because she's Goldie Hawn. Nancy Meyers also wrote Baby Boom.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, we did an episode on that one. It is great. Actually, pretty much every Hallmark holiday movie is basically Baby Boom.
Yeah.
Which is fine. She wrote Father of the Bride.
We've talked about that with Adam Risky.
It's a very funny episode, if you want that. Her directorial debut, which she also wrote, was the remake of The Parent Trap.
Very cute.
Very cute movie. And people a little bit younger than us super love that movie. They love it. She wrote and directed Something's Gotta Give.
Not my favorite.
Not my favorite, but I will still watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it, though. Yeah. It's watchable.
I love seeing Keanu Reeves in it, too. He's so handsome. She wrote and directed It's Complicated.
Also not my favorite, but it's got great kitchens.
Oh, my God. That one is kitchen porn. If you haven't seen It's Complicated, it is a complicated movie. But the kitchen that Meryl Streep's character has is
divine.
Honestly, it's worth watching just for that. It's architecture porn. And then the last one, I actually haven't seen this one, but I know Adam Risky loves it. 2015's The Intern.
I don't love it.
Okay.
It's filmed in my neighborhood. It's about, so Anne Hathaway is a tech person. She's a guru, whatever. She has her own company based in Brooklyn. And then she hires an intern. The intern happens to be Robert De Niro, who plays this older man that's just bored and gets an internship for a company where they could easily use someone who's qualified to be an intern and advance their goddamn career. But okay.
Sure.
She hires, and there's some great like house porn, and I featured it in my book.
Oh, okay.
But it's I've been by that house. I think it's in Fort Greene, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. I still haven't seen it yet. I will probably see it at some point because I do like Nancy Meyers movies. So, and then the last one she did was, oh shit, where is it? She was just a producer on that, so that doesn't really count. Never mind. That's the last one.
Do you want to hear the top 10 singles for the week ending December 9th, 2006?
Yes, I do.
All right. Number 10, Fergie. Fergalicious.
Song is fucking catchy as shit. You can make fun of it all you want, but it's catchy.
It's catchy as shit. My friend used that in one of her spin classes to teach.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a very tiny, like she was like 4'11", 5 feet tall, very tiny. And she used to talk like people talk down to her because she was so petite. She played that song in her class, and this older guy comes up and goes, "Do you really think that was appropriate for you to do that?" I know. I was like, you should have punched him in the balls.
Seriously, go to another class. Fuck off.
Yeah. Number 9. I love this song. Snow Patrol, Chasing Cars.
I love that song.
Yeah. Number 8, Ludacris, Moneymaker with Pharrell.
Ludacris.
Yeah. Oh God. Was that the Fire Festival?
No, wait.
Festival?
That's that's Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. Sorry. I got my dudes mixed up. Sorry. I'm a dumb white lady.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Numbers. I won't fuck this up. Number 7, Gwen Stefani, Wind It Up.
I was all in on Gwen Stefani's solo stuff.
Same.
Yeah.
I wish she would put out something else this good. We need it. Number 6, I don't know this one. Hinder, Lips of an Angel.
No, that means nothing to me.
Number 5, this song is so like ubiquitous. The Fray, How to Save a Life.
Oh my, that's a Grey's Anatomy jam. That's one of those.
Oh my God.
That's 100% one of those songs they used in Grey's Anatomy.
It's used in commercials all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just they just play it. Okay, number 4, My Love, Justin Timberlake featuring T.I.
You couldn't get away from Justin Timberlake songs in 2006 because he was bringing sexy back.
I think you'll like this. This is Akon featuring Eminem, Smack That.
Yep. Yep.
Number 2, Irreplaceable by Beyonce.
I still love that song. It is.
Yep.
All your shit's in a box to the left.
And number 1, I Want to Love You, Akon. I think that's Akon. Featuring Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yes. Snoop
Dogg.
National treasure, Snoop Dogg. I'm all, is he a national treasure? I don't know.
Okay.
I tell you, I'm gonna walk that back. Actually, let me rephrase that. National character, Snoop Dogg.
Very famous, like never not famous, Snoop Dogg for 30 plus years.
I will say this: like, he is a character. When Snoop Dogg shows up in things, I'm like, oh shit, it's Snoop Dogg. And that's saying something. Like, not everybody brings that kind of vibe.
Somebody I worked at Condé Nast, somebody at GQ interviewed him. And somebody said every answer from Snoop Dogg was, don't know, hard to say. They say, well, are you married? No, don't know, hard to say. What's your next album going to be? Don't know. Hard to say.
Don't know. Hard to say. Recording and working on it every day.
Don't know. Hard to say. And he said it differently every single time.
I look forward to his new single, Don't Know. Hard to say.
Hard to say.
So let's take a break and then we'll talk about what else we're dorking out about. My friend, what else are you dorking out about?
Okay, sit back. I got a list.
Okay,
we haven't done this in a couple of weeks. We've had special guests.
We've had guests, and like we missed a week because I had COVID. I had the vid, so
She had the vid,
but I'm better now. Everything's fine. I can't wait to hear your list.
All right, I'm going to start with HBO Max.
Yeah,
they had further episodes of The Vow, which is about NXIVM.
Oh yes.
There's like 5 or 6 episodes. I'm like, what are you going to do? Because they'd already had done it. They managed. They did really well. It was very, very well done. It's very satisfying. It's hard to watch Nikki Klein, who's an actress, still like being in the pocket of this asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And his defense attorney is really sad and pathetic, but it's really interesting. And it was very satisfying to watch a couple of people that were involved in the organization realize what they had done.
Okay.
And so I recommend, if you're into that story, I think it was a really, really worthwhile visit. Also on HBO Max, The Big Brunch.
Oh yeah,
with Dan Levy.
I've watched the first episode of that, and it is on my list. I'm gonna be watching it.
This is the thing. If you're like wrapping presents, writing out your Christmas cards, you're trimming the tree, you're dusting, you're cleaning your house, it's great to have on.
Yeah.
There's nice people, they're making yummy foods, and the hosts are really down to earth.
Yeah.
And there's no, it's nice. I like it.
And I love him.
He's so goddamn There's one time where they talked about, I'm going to be admitting something here, but Dan says like, he has food he likes, and he was like, I can't eat this anymore. I'm going to just throw it away because it's too much. And then the co-host with him said, I have to put coffee grounds on top of it, like just to make sure that I don't. I'm like, I've been there. I've been there. Like, ordered pizza. It's like, I can only have a couple of slices and I just can't because I'll just eat it all. So yeah, that's admitting something weird.
That's hilarious.
Okay. And then Going Clear, I watched that again, which is the Scientology documentary.
Yeah, I saw that when it first came out. It's
really holds up. It was I was shocked how well it held up. It was good. So for movies, you went to the theater. You'll tell us that. Yeah. I streamed last night. She Said.
Oh, how was it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a little long. It's not as good as All the President's Men. I
mean, that's a high bar. Spotlight,
I think, is like what they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
And it has like the real women involved in it.
Wow.
I think it would have worked better as like a Hulu series if it was like 4 episodes of like a Hulu series.
Yeah.
And you can kind of stretch it out more. But they have like when Harvey Weinstein does show up, it's a malevolent presence. Like he is scary.
Yeah.
Ashley Judd's in there. A couple of the women that work for Harvey Weinstein play themselves. It should.
It's so interesting. Why didn't they just make a really good documentary or something instead?
I think there's been like a dozen documentaries about Harvey Weinstein, and they're all pretty good. I think, they sold the rights. Yeah. And I love the actors involved. Patricia, God damn it, Patricia with the red hair. She's beautiful.
Patricia Clarkson.
Thank you. She has, she's silver-haired fox now.
Oh.
She looks great. I mean, everyone's really good. And I know like the editors and stuff because I live in New York, I worked in media. Like it's interesting to me. They filmed it in Prospect Park, which is interesting. I just felt it was a little long and a little boring in some parts.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very deliberate. Being a reporter is not exciting. It's a lot of calling people. It's a lot of chasing leads. It's a lot of trying to sift through the information.
Yes.
I think if they had made, like I said, if I had made this a longer version of this, but they made it into like a series, I think it would have been more powerful.
Okay.
That's just my takeaway.
Yeah. No, it's been on my list to watch, but I've also like heard things where it's like it's a good story and it's interesting and important, but the movie itself is kind of dry.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Netflix, we'll go to Netflix. Meghan and Harry, I'm into it.
Also on my list.
I bet you they have sex all the time. I'm telling you. You can tell when people have chemistry.
Yeah.
And she has been done wrong in Britain, and don't at me. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
She's
same. I am also team Meghan on this one.
The TV series that I love, Wednesday, which is about Wednesday Addams.
Another one that I strangely have not started that people can't believe I haven't started.
So fucking good. And the little actress who plays her is amazing. Luis Guzman plays Gomez. Catherine Zeta-Jones is Morticia.
Yes.
It's Tim Burton. I haven't liked Tim Burton this much in a long time. This is really good use of Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's Jenna Ortega as Wednesday.
Thank you. I was blanking on her name. She's 20 and she's got the most beautiful brown eyes. She's just perfect as Wednesday. So I'm I've been here at the school for a month and I've been threatened with my life 3 times. I love it here. She's just a weird kid at a weird school. I love it. There's a documentary called Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Oh yeah. Okay. I haven't seen the very last episode yet, but you can go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah, well, so Pepsi had a commercial here in the States, and it was like Pepsi Clear or Pepsi New Formula, and they're like, collect these points and you can get a Pepsi jacket, or you can get a Pepsi this or that.
Yeah,
it's
you can
just
get merch.
Shitty merch. And of course, and the clever thing they do is they have like a taste test. They have everybody do the taste test because that was a big thing in the 80s, like which tastes better,
Which
Coke
one
or
are
Pepsi?
you? Are you Coke or
Coke.
Pepsi? That's funny.
Coke.
I'm Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, see?
But I'll drink
friends.
By the way, I'll drink a Diet Coke if that's what they have. I don't care. I'm not going to ew, no, which is what some people do when they get Diet Pepsi. I prefer Diet Pepsi.
I know somebody had to work an event at let's say Madison Square Garden, just for argument's sake. Yeah. But she had and one of the major sponsors was Pepsi, and they were furious that there were Coke machines in the building. She's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Okay. Going to Hulu.
Yes.
George and Tammy. which is Jessica Chastain and Michael Pitt, the really tall actor. I always forget. Shannon. God damn it, Margo.
You're fine.
And it's George Jones and Tammy Wynette. It's their story.
Yes.
And I thought I wouldn't give a shit. I was wrong. I'm in.
Okay.
It's 60s. It's country. It's like, it's great. I mean, Jessica Chastain, I find to be, the both of them are such great actors and they're so believable.
Truth. I love both of them very much.
I think she's petite. I think petite to me. I'm 5'7". She's like 5'3" or 5'4". My mother would say, that's average.
He's tall, right?
Super tall. I've seen him on the subway. He's from Brooklyn. But I've seen him like on the F train, and he's very tall, very intense looking. They look great together.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
That one's on my list too.
Nothing Compares, which is about Sinead O'Connor.
You've seen so many things that I haven't seen yet. Oh my gosh.
I know. I told you I had a huge list because we haven't done this in a few weeks. So last for Hulu, God Forbid, which is about those hypocritical assholes that had that college, that religious school. Is it Falwell?
It's the Falwells. It started by Jerry Falwell, and his son took over, and they are both the biggest fucking hypocrites. Oh, it's such a good documentary.
It's really good. Yeah. On Disney Plus, I saw The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes, that's my favorite Christmas Carol.
It's fucking great. On Peacock, we have Below Deck, and then we have and poor Captain Lee has a hip problem, and the poor man can't barely move. He's like limping everywhere. I know, and I have a lot of empathy for this because I broke my ankle a few years ago. So Captain Lee's going to leave, and they're going to bring in Captain Sandy, which I don't know if everybody knows that yet or not, but that's the twist. Anyway, and then Below Deck Adventure, they have another Australian captain, and they're up in Norway, and they have, as their guests this week, Sonia, Heather Gay and Angie from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
All right, maybe I need to watch that one.
It's beautiful. I mean, Norway is gorgeous. And it's a great cast.
What do you think of Salt Lake City? Real Housewives.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
I watch it. I'm not sure what I'm watching. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of chaos. I think we're going to miss Jen Shaw. Because she's such a lunatic. Like, she literally just screams at people at the slightest provocation.
Yeah, she is someone who she needs a therapist. Like, I don't know, maybe she's got a therapist. And I'm like, you need a better therapist. Because she is all about, like, the minute you're like, hey, I don't really like it when you say blank, she deflects. What about the time you blah, blah, like, and I'm like, you're an obnoxious human being.
She's screaming as she does it, and she's throwing things at people while she's yelling at them. Like, I hope you go to jail for a very long time, because she's going to jail, y'all, just so you know. She's also a goddamn fraud.
She's super guilty. Like, I don't have any, I don't have a lot of
skin in the game.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of empathy for her in this one. I was like, you're super guilty. I feel bad for her husband.
Yeah, Coach Shaw, but he made his bed. Yeah, the boys didn't ask for that shit. Okay, so books. I read Paulina Porizkova, the former supermodel.
Yeah.
And she has a book of essays called No Filter.
And?
I think if you can get it from the library.
Okay.
I don't think it's I read an interview with her in the Times, and she's like, I got this contract like 4 months ago, and I had to turn it in like 90 days, which is not the norm.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it kind of sounds like it. But the relationship between her and Rick Ocasek, I didn't realize how much older he was when he met her.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I ever really thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was married and he had 3 or 4 kids.
Oh, shit.
And then they did that video Drive, and she was the model, and she was 19. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know she was that young. Damn.
She was 19, and then they started dating, and he started telling her what to wear, and when they got married, he combined their finances.
Oh.
He wouldn't let her work as much as she wanted to. there was a lot that's going on there. So when they eventually broke up, he died. He left her nothing, and she was like, but half of that was my money because I was always, yeah.
Damn.
So she had to fight for a settlement.
Jesus.
She admits like there was a really big power differential going on that she didn't know.
Yeah.
And she didn't realize at the time.
Okay.
But the other stuff, she's kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, I just it's I have a mixed review of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a big fan of hers, so I was into it, but I was like, yeah, it could have used. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
And my last thing, because we can't keep. Yeah.
No, you could go on forever.
Don't tempt me. We'll just keep throwing ads. Podcast. And we'll have a podcast rec. And if you listen to us on What a Creep, I did an episode on John List. And the creepy murder in Westfield, New Jersey, and NewJersey.com, which is they have like the Newark Star Ledger and all these other papers are under like this one banner. It's called Father Wants Us Dead. It's not but it's a very in-depth, much more than because we just do a really quick kind of overview when we do What a Creep. We're not, so this is like I think it's 5 or 6 episodes. If you're interested in that story, they did a really good job.
Okay.
And I think that's everything.
All right. Well, if there's more, throw them in there as we keep going, because I've got a few too.
Okay.
I went to the movie theater. I bought my ticket in advance because there was nobody else in theater, and I was like, I bought my ticket literally like 15 minutes before the show started. I was like, oh, there's nobody in theater. I'm going. So I went and saw Violent Night, which is the new action movie starring David Harbour from Stranger Things. He plays the sheriff, and he is Santa Claus, and he is fully murdering bad guys, people who are on the naughty list. John Leguizamo is in there as the villain.
Oh, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Beverly D'Angelo is in there.
Love her.
It's really entertaining. It's fun. Like, it's violent. It's quite violent. It's a bloody, like, very much in the spirit of like, did you see Ready or Not? That came out like 2 years ago, maybe. Or what's another? It's kind of Die Hard-ish, but it's Santa, I would say.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty violent. It's very fun. I like David Harbour very much. I told you off mic that I don't want to sit on his lap. I want to sit on his face and tell him I'm a good girl. I was a very good girl this year, David Harbour.
I love filthy Sonia.
So filthy. I really like him. And I really like that movie. It's really fun. I like action movies, and it was fun to see it in the theater. So if you could see it in the theater, and you're comfortable, by the way, if you're comfortable seeing it in theater, like, you should see it.
Right.
But also you'll be fine if you wait for streaming. It's
Question.
Yes.
Sorry. You worked in movie theaters.
Yes.
If nobody buys a ticket, do they just not show the movie?
No, very often they still start it because people might come in late, and you don't want to start it right when they show up, because then it throws off every time after that.
So you just play even if nobody's in the room?
Yep.
Wow.
At least that's what we used to do back in the olden days.
Right.
Because if the movie doesn't end in time for, like, say, the 7:00 show, then you're kind of fucked. Like, there's a lot of people, like, milling around being pissed off that they can't go sit down. So that's what we used to do, but maybe they don't do that anymore.
I was just curious.
Yeah, maybe they were like, that fucking bitch, like, coming in at the last second.
I know. They were going to have a party in there, and then you showed up.
But it wasn't like the last show of the night or something.
No. You said it was like 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, I went to like a work thing, and it ended, and I was like, I'm like right by the theater here at the mall. I could go see something and I saw that Violent Night literally had no one else in the theater. And I was like, that's exactly what I want. Then I don't have to worry. I don't have to like wear masks or anything. So I'm so happy. I also watched 1974's Black Christmas.
Which I love.
I've seen it twice now in the last 2 weeks because I watched it by myself last week and then I watched it with friends last night. And that movie's fucking good, y'all. It's good. It is the movie that they say inspired things like Halloween. You know, I could definitely see that influence when I'm watching it. It's bananas to me that it's directed by Bob Clark. Bob Clark directed A Christmas Story.
Porky's.
And Porky's.
Yeah.
And A Christmas Story. And there's one other one where I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, anyway, I don't remember. It's very good. It's got Margo Kidder in there, a young Margo Kidder. She's adorable. Everybody drink. Olivia Hussey is the lead. Mm-hmm. She's really great. The dude, the like astronaut from 2001 shows up in there. It's very entertaining. It's creepy as fuck. I really like that one a lot. I think it's going to be a regular thing for me to watch in the holidays. And I think I'm going to watch there's a couple of remakes. I think maybe a 2006 and a 2016 one. And I think I'm going to watch them and see what I think. So I also watched Anna and the Apocalypse. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It came out in 2018 and it is a British horror holiday musical.
Okay.
And I was like, did they make a movie just for me? And I didn't bother to watch it until now? Seems weird because I'm like, I love all of these things. And it's a bunch of high school students and it's right around the holidays and a zombie apocalypse breaks out and they also sing.
That sounds entertaining.
It is very entertaining. I think the songs are very for my Buffy the Vampire Slayer people, it is very much like the musical episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is a famous episode called Once More with Feeling. It's very much that vibe. So if you like Once More with Feeling, you will love Anna and the Apocalypse. And I've recommended it to a few people that I work with, and they're in love with it now too. So I watched it on Shudder, which is also where Black Christmas is playing. So if you have Shudder, do it. Mm-hmm. Speaking of musicals, I watched Spirited on Apple with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
I did see that too. I saw that too.
And I was like, it was fine. It was enjoyable. It was a thing to watch. It was a thing to watch. I actually liked Octavia Spencer as the love interest to Will Ferrell. Great. I thought it was very sweet. I think Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell are great and clearly having a lot of fun. I don't remember a single song.
No, the songs aren't great.
Like, it's, again, over 2 hours. Didn't need to be.
Right.
But I enjoyed it while I watched it. Like, I was like, this is fine.
I forgot it the second it was turned off.
Yeah, you were like, you didn't even,
something else.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So if you have Apple and you want to watch it, it's...
While you're trimming the tree, wrapping presents, it's great.
Yeah, it's not going to be every year for me.
It's not memorable.
Not to me.
No, me neither.
But maybe others. I don't know. That's fine. And then I also watched Bros with...
I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
Yes, I liked it. I think it is funny. I like that it is a gay romantic comedy that's not tragic, I guess, and that's something they bring up in the movie, whereas normally movies about gay people usually involve like hate crimes and AIDS, and that is not happening in this movie. Billy Eichner is an acquired taste. I get it. I like this movie. Again, too long. I hate complaining about this over and over. I was like, it's a little too long, but I still enjoyed it. I really like Billy Eichner. I think he's funny. It is one of those like Judd Apatow comedies, so it's very much like a train wreck or what are some of the other Judd This Is 40. Yeah.
This is 40.
Yeah. It's definitely like that kind of vibe. I liked it. I watched it streaming on Peacock.
Okay, I'll look for that. I was when I was on This Movie, we talked about Moonstruck. Moonstruck is an hour and 37 minutes.
And it's perfect.
And it's goddamn perfect movie. You wouldn't add anything to it. It doesn't have to be 2+ hours. It just doesn't.
I don't know if they're feeling like we don't get our money's worth if they're not longer. And I was like, I don't need it to be longer to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. I need it to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've already taken my time. Like you know what I mean? Like, that's worth something.
That's my most valuable thing. Like
their asset or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. That's one of the things I like about older movies. They just fucking end.
Yeah.
They just end.
Some of them are like 80 minutes. Like you're just like, Don't Bother to Knock is like 78 minutes and it's fantastic. It doesn't need to be a second longer. It does what it tells the story. I also forgot to mention, sorry, I was on a podcast called Long Story Long.
Yes.
With Lisa Curry and she interviewed me. So
yes, Margo's been making the rounds and she is just fucking killing it wherever she goes. And that's one.
They're so sweet.
It's true. It's true. And she did Moonstruck with Patrick Bromley at This Movie. And I fucking lose my shit when Margo and Patrick are on the same episode together. Because that's how I found Margo in the first place. Like
that's how we became friends.
Exactly. And I just I love Moonstruck so much. So we've done an episode on Moonstruck and I still like listened to that episode and was like learned a lot and loved it. Like it was so good.
It's a perfect movie. Seriously. If you think you know it or you're just like, oh, that's like some rom-com with Cher. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Exactly. And then I did watch the crime scene show on Netflix. The latest one is the Texas Killing Fields.
Saw that too, yeah.
Which is not holiday related. And I cannot believe that I have never heard this story. That's a lot of young women that died in Texas. And I had never heard that story. And I'm like, how is that a thing?
Because women's lives are not as important. It's sexism. It's a lot of like, this is the late 70s, early 80s. It's by Houston, I believe. And it's a lot of, oh God, that one man, his daughter was on medicine, like had to take medication.
Yes.
And the cop was like, oh, she'll just get medicine anywhere. Like didn't worry about her.
Yes.
Like, because some of them were sex workers or some of them were runaways or they were, and some of them weren't.
And some of them weren't. And they just say like, she's probably a runaway.
Yeah. Yeah. She's probably just with a boyfriend somewhere. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And the police work was not great. And there's one girl, there's one woman, her father basically did his own investigating.
Yes.
And then started doing it for other cold cases.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. This man, what is this, his 80s now? And he's taken this on as his cri de coeur, his passion. Like, just to speak for victims.
It's amazing. It's sad that this is the thing that someone does. Like that man's heart is broken. His heart is broken. It, by the way, not for holiday viewing. It's fucked up.
Wait till after Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a mood lift, that's not going to do it.
Correct. And the last thing I probably mentioned this last year, but I'm going to mention it again because my son loves this one and we watch it. We are watching again The Grinch, which came out in 2018. And it is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. And this one is a fucking delight. It really is. And I think a lot of people skipped it because they either super love the Jim Carrey one, which I don't like, but I know that like people younger than us grew up watching that one and they love it. To them, it's their Grinch. I grew up watching the like old Grinch, the one that's like 20 minutes or something. That's people who love that one don't love the Jim Carrey one. And then the people who love the Jim Carrey one probably won't watch this most recent one. This most recent one is a delight. It's really, I think it's very sweet. It's very funny. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job as the Grinch. I think it takes a different spin on it. Like, it's telling the same story. It's 85 minutes. It's only 85 minutes. And
perfect.
And they added some stuff, just a little bit of story to maybe help us understand why the Grinch is the way he is without like going like full backstory. Like, we don't need a fucking prequel. Like, I don't want to be like, what was the Grinch like when he was little? Like, I don't need that. But they give you like just a little bit to see like he suffered like some sort of trauma that makes him want to be alone and guard his heart. And it's very, very sweet. And like I said, we watch it every year. So
I'll watch it. It's on my list.
It's and I think it might be on Netflix. So you can just watch it. I think that's plenty. That's a plenty long list we just gave people.
I forgot something else. Sorry.
Oh yeah, tell me.
I was in the Daily News this week.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Why didn't we mention that right away?
I can't believe. Yeah, Jacqueline Cutler did a review of my book, and it's like, and it has my photos, and it like tells my story the best anybody has. Like it was such a fun shock. I was at the bagel pub picking up a sandwich and I had a Google alert and it said Daily News for Margo Donahue. And I'm like, what?
It's fucking amazing.
And it's really amazing. It's just like the cherry on top. It was really amazing. So that was very exciting. And I'm selling, thank you. And I'm selling signed copies here in the States. If you want, email us, so I'll give you the information.
Yes.
And I can get it to you by Christmas if you want me to sign in something special. I've been running around Park Slope selling them in person all over my neighborhood, which has been a goddamn delight. People are so nice and friendly. I've met the most amazing people.
Aww.
It's really like turned out like a wonderful experience, like in so many different ways. So
I look forward to the movie version of Filmed in Brooklyn.
It's just me. It's like She Said with half the drama, I guess. It's just me following people. Was this filmed here? Nope. Sorry. Okay.
No, you're meeting like all kinds of like cool and interesting people while you're out there promoting this book. And it's another testament to being curious and listening to people and talking to people. And it's so fun.
Someone who listens to our show, she's based in Oakland, and she said, I want to buy a copy and give it to my friend, and he lives like a few blocks away from me. I wrote it all out, and he wasn't home, so I left it on his doorstep, and then I told her that's where I left it, and then she said, he says it's not there. I left it at the wrong number. I switched the numbers, so I had to do a whole new one, but I presented it to his wife, and she was so delighted.
Aww.
Like, oh, this is so nice. Thank you. Like,
that is great. Service.
I know. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Damn. When the author shows up to deliver their book to your house. Damn. Get on it, Stephen King. You're not going to deliver it to my house, Stephen King? Fuck off. Not buying any more of your books. I don't buy any Stephen King books.
I do.
But you do. I know.
I have stacks of them, and it's like 3 of them. I'm like, oh, Christmas holiday. I may actually go on a holiday myself.
Yes, do it.
But so I might bring that with me. But no, if you want me to ship it to you here in the States, email us and I'll do it for you.
Yes, please do that. You can email us at dorkinoutshow@gmail.com. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. It would be delightful if you gave us a review. It helps us find our people. Unless you want to give us a bad review, then you can maybe I'm surprised you made it this far.
Yeah.
And, but you could keep that shit to yourself. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick for Twitter and Instagram. My site is brooklynfitchick.com, and I'm on TikTok at Margo Donahue.
And you can find Filmed in Brooklyn wherever you buy your books.
Yes, you can.
I ordered one
and
today.
And on Kindle.
Yes, and on Kindle. Do it. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram. I go to my Facebook sometimes. And I'm also on the TikTok, where I'm there to ruin it for the kids. This was super fun. I am in a total holiday mood now. Got my holiday beer, my lights going, my little Christmas candles. I feel so festive.
We just got to find a Jude Law and a Jack Black and we're good.
Yeah, and get some gumption.
Gumption!
Gumption!